Hello, hello, everyone. It's Teresa from Teresa's Art for. It's Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. Today we are doing an upcycled project. Welcome to Adventures in Organizing. If you're not watching on the Crafty Bunch, you can. This started at 3:30, and you will be able to check all these organization tips out until 3 o'clock tonight. I'm going to turn this off because somebody keeps texting me. So I'm excited. Look what I have. I have some cans. I have some scrap paper, literally scrap paper that I made. Okay, I'm making a mess here. And I'm going to show you what we're making. So I'm going to pick this one up. I keep this on a Lazy Susie. This is what we're making, but this one's going to be much better. This is the first one I made. I was lazy, y'all, so I didn't really dress it up at all. The one we're making today, we're going to really dress up our cans and make it cool. And I keep pens. This I don't need. String. Cutting tools. Fancy scissors. More fancy scissors. And then these are miscellaneous tools. And then in the middle, I have tool stuff like these rulers. This is just for decoration. It doesn't mean anything. I don't even remember where it came from. It just hangs out in there. So this is what we're making. I keep it on a Lazy Susie so I can turn it around. And I'm going to put this down. Whew, quite heavy. So let me turn you guys around and we're going to get started. So yesterday, I went ahead and got started. This is a 30-minute segment, and I want to be able to complete this entire project for you guys. So I made some samples. You can paint your cans. You can Mod Podge your cans with collage paper, which is what I'm going to do here. And you can decoupage your paper with a napkin. The one thing I suggest doing when you do a napkin is that you base coat your can white first, okay? So this is what we're going to be doing, and we are going to get started. I need some string. I have my Mod Podge. I have my paint. I have a sanding block. And my glue gun is plugged in, because sometimes I forget to plug in my glue gun. Thank you, thank you. So how is everyone doing today? If you have not joined the Crafty Bunch, you need to, you guys. There's so much going on over there. So many talented people in the Crafty Bunch, and you're going to learn all kinds of things. I am an acrylic artist. I love teaching art. However, sometimes, we want to step outside our comfort zone. I know everyone's not into art. And I am definitely into organizing, especially it's the new year. It's January. Don't we all start out January with like, oh, I'm going to keep all my stuff neat. I'm going to fix my mail piles and I'm not going to let them pile up. I'm going to meal plan. I'm going to get organized. And then, sometimes it lasts, sometimes it doesn't. But today on the Crafty Bunch is all about helping us try and keep it lasting. Hello. So this is the one I'm going to Mod Podge with a napkin, but I painted it white first. Okay. This one I painted blue. And this one I painted blue. So I think this one I'm going to paint yellow because I'm keeping this all in my my color theme. If you saw behind me when I started this live, I got a lot of blues and yellows going on in my office, in my logo, obviously, because I love all things beach, water, and sunshine. So this one is going to stay painted. So I might give it 2 coats. We shall see. But you know what? It's not life and death, y'all. It's a craft. It's an upcycle craft. And you know what? If I only ended up giving it 1 coat, that's fine too. And I'm doing these paintings first. So look at me. See that? That's where the label was stuck to the can. I don't even care about that because when we put this together, I'm just going to make sure that goes in the back. Could I get some glue gone? Could I get my fingernail out there and start scraping it? Could I soak it overnight and get all that off? Of course I can, but I'm not. It's not necessary. And like I said, we may or may not even give this one a second coat. We shall see. So I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to put that in water. Okay. This was decoupage with the napkin. Let me ask you guys' opinion. I can do the second can. Does this napkin go? I think it does. Does this napkin go with my color scheme here? What do you think? Because I was going to do this other can with the same napkin. So should I use this napkin or the same napkin that's on here? What do you think? This is my colors I have so far. I think this one could work. It does have the little bit of the orange and the yellow in it. But I think it could work. I think it goes. So I'm going to use it. Okay. Put these aside. But you know I'm saving this one, right? You know I'm saving this one. That little half a piece of scrap there. Okay. So we're letting this dry. I'm going to decoupage this can, and then we're going to be putting it all together. When you decoupage and you decoupage with napkins, you need to take apart the plies. And if you don't know what the plies are, that's the layers of tissue. Layers of tissue, layers of napkin. Now this napkin, I believe, is 3-ply. And I know that because when I pull this one off, this one is still kind of white. So I'm going to get my nails. I'm going to patiently, figure out and go in here like this. And now, look at that. So this napkin was, in fact, 3 plies. 1, 2, 3. Oops. And I know that, and I know I'm done with the plies now because look at now how translucent it is here compared to when I only pulled up the 1 ply here. All right? So you want to gently separate these. Now, some people keep this. I am not one of those. If I upset you by tossing that out, I am sorry. This is still a little wet. I'm going to grab my heat gun for just a quick minute. Just a quick minute. It's pretty, right? Isn't it pretty? And it has all my colors in it. I was just a little concerned because it has the red and the orange. So you base coat your surface. I could have base coated it white. I could have base coated it blue. Anything that you base coat with is going to change it. Napkins are pretty see-through. So you want to, I usually base coat when I'm using a napkin. I won't base coat when I'm using this craft paper. I use them all, just have them all stirred up and ended up going, yeah, the other parts, yeah. I knew what's going to happen to me. I save enough crap. So that's that. I could have, if I wanted this really to be really opaque, I could have base coated it in blue. All right. I'm going to get my scissors. I measured it on here. And waste not, want not. I'm going to cut this on the seam. And this will be plenty big enough for my can. Let me put this aside. I put my Mod Podge in these little to-go cups and cover it. So this can stay out the whole time I'm crafting, an hour or 2 hours, whatever it is. And I'm not letting air into this whole big jar the whole time I'm crafting. I put it in here. Sometimes I throw them away. Sometimes you can sometimes even peel it up when you're done. Whatever. I know we're always saving. Now I like to use the machine edge, the manufacturer edge. This is the part I cut. This is the straight part that came with the napkin. This is my decoupage brush that I use for decoupage. Actually, I'm going to need more decoupage in my container. I'm just doing about 2 inches here so far. I'm doing a very light coat because napkins are thin. They only need a light coat. Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, Capri, how are you? And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm lining up the napkin manufacturer edge with the top of my can because that's the straightest part. And I'm just gently tapping it down into my can. Okay, I'm going to flip this back And now we're just going to work our way around it. I'm going to need some more Mod Podge. We're just going to work our way around. Okay? Little by little, I'm going to take it. I'm going to make sure it's lined up. And then I'm just going to gently tap it down. I'm not worrying about the bottom. We don't care about the bottom right now. Just gently tapping it down. I'm going to flip it back. Get a little bit more Mod Podge. If you weren't here for the very beginning, I'm going to show you what we're making in a second. As soon as I finish this portion of it, I'll show you what we're making. I try and concentrate on the line up here because I want my line at the top to be nice and straight. And that's why I use the napkin straight edge, because that's how the napkin came. I would assume they're cut pretty straight in the store or the factory, wherever they come from, not the store. And that edge I can keep nice and straight on the top of the can. I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm just tapping it in as I go. Now, I may have some wrinkles in the end. That's okay. Upcycle project. Oop, got some schmeg there in my stuff. This is an upcycle project. It's for desk organization for my paintbrushes. You know, before I know it's going to be full of paint anyway. So I'm not going to worry about this being perfect and not having wrinkles. You know what? That's just the beauty of it. Okay. Do be careful, though. I have my hand inside the can. Do be careful that you don't cut yourself when you're turning it. Some can openers, I know, take off that very sharp edge. I don't have one of those. Sometimes I'll go in there with a screwdriver and flatten it down. This time I did not, but I'm going to be careful. Okay. And all the way around. And then I could cut this, but I'm actually going to overlap. So I'm gently, you want to gently brush onto where you already have the napkin. And then I'm going to overlap and then tap it down with my finger again. And then we're going to leave this one over here to dry. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to put it over here to dry. So now if you just hopped on, let me show you what we're making. I'm going to turn you guys around for 1 second. This is what we're making, but we're making it nicer. Yeah, you need a safety. I know, I need a safety can opener. So I keep this on a Lazy Susie. It has all different cans, all different size cans. In the middle, I have this really fun jar. I don't even remember what this was from, that I hand painted. And I keep it in the middle because it's a little bit taller for stuff. And this is what we are making today, a desk organizer. And you can use as many cans or as few cans as you like. Okay, so I'm going to turn you guys back around. And then the next part we're going to do, I have been making decoupage papers. This is one of them. I may use this one, I may not, I don't know yet. I took 2 sheets of paper from yesterday. Actually, I think I will use this one. And that's how I made this. Isn't this so pretty, you guys? Thank you, Christy. So this was with a piece of paper I made, a piece of collage paper I made. This is more of it. Ripped it up right here. And I am actually going to rip this one up a little bit because I want more yellow in this one. So I'm taking my paper and I'm ripping the edges so the edges are already ripped. Okay? This way I have nice ripped edges and no straight seams. This is just packing paper. Like, you know, if you go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's and sometimes they wrap your stuff in that cheap paper and it's not really good for much of anything and it's kind of thin, way, way thicker than tissue paper, but thin for paper. That's what this is. But once you make it into collage paper, and I have a video coming up, I have a couple on my YouTube channel of me making collage papers, and go because this is my new obsession. Once you, and I'm concentrating on the yellow pieces because I want to add more yellow to this one. We're good for time than I had on that one. I'm probably only going to do about half the can. Okay. Put that aside. Rip, rip, rip. Okay. Yes, there's so many things to use it for. So I'm just going to pick a spot and I'm going to start. And it's very, it's kind of therapeutic, you guys. Pick up some Mod Podge. And you can use your Mod Podge if you're using this paper, the collage paper, and not papers, not napkins. You can make your Mod Podge a little bit thicker. And I'm basically randomly now, I need to get some more, going around. Again, I care about the top edge, but not as much. So I'm going to pick some of the straightest pieces I have to go on the top. And then after I base coat and nail it and glue it down, then I'm going to do a top layer. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Close this up. Okay. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do this whole one today because I want to put this all together for you guys. So I may only do a portion of this one. And that's it. I'm going to randomly, right now it looks milky. This will in fact dry clear like this one did. And you can be a lot more aggressive when you're using this paper and not using napkins. Napkins will rip and then you'll be sad. So you just have to be a little bit more gentle when you're using napkins than when you're using like mixed media paper or regular like copy paper from the computer, from your printer. This one's being a little tricky here. Okay. So you could find the button to my YouTube channel in the links. I would love it if you hopped over there and subscribed to my YouTube channel. I have dozens of step-by-step tutorials on there for acrylic painting and other crafty ideas like this one. I love taking what I can figure out and learn and teaching it to others. If you're not familiar with me, I am from Long Island, New York, born and raised here. I basically live about 20 minutes from where I grew up, but just on the other side of the island because, yes, New York is in fact an island. Need a little piece for here because I'm not going to go around this whole thing. I'm just going to do the front because you're not going to see it once I put it all together. But I just wanted to show you guys that I'm chit-chatting away and Mod Podging away, and it's all good. Make sure my ends are down. And this here, if you're wondering, this is a silicone mat. When I'm done, I will take that inside to my sink. I will wash my brushes, and I will rinse my mat with soap and water, and it'll be clean and ready to go. And then I can get Mod Podge on it. I can get paint on it. I can get pretty much anything on it, and it washes right off. You can use it to mix paint. Oops. You can use it for a palette. You can use it to make papers. I spilled my Mod Podge. I'll have to pick that up. It's really great to have. I have a couple of them. I will use sometimes one under my painting and then one next to me for my paint. It's an easy way to keep everything nice and clean. So this one is very similar to this one, except I'm using much more yellow in my papers, in what I'm picking. And all these papers were made at the same, well, not necessarily at the same time, but with the same palette. I made all these papers with blue, yellow, white, and black. And this way, they will all go together. So even if I didn't use them at the same time, they're all in the same color family, and I could. Get this one. And I just totally randomly and messily, is messily a word? Messily ripped these papers. And we're almost done here, and then we're going to put it all together, and you'll be able to see the finished product. And then I'll be able to clean up the Mod Podge I spilled. And you don't have to use Mod Podge. Mod Podge has become the word like Kleenex. You can use any kind of gel medium. You could use school glue. The difference with school glue is school glue will yellow over time. It may not be in our time, but they do say it will yellow over time. So you want to be careful of that. Other than that, you can use Liquitex. You can use that one that starts with a C. I can't remember it right now. Or you can use regular old Mod Podge. I like Mod Podge. It's quick and easy. I like the consistency. I do these things for myself, not to necessarily sell, so I'm not worried about it yellowing. A couple more pieces back here. There we go. Oops. Okay. And like I said, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm going to leave that for now. I did most of the front. Then you can go back in and give it all a second coat. You can wait for it to dry a little bit. You can do it now. I am going to hit it with my heat gun, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to put this whole thing together. Okay, get rid of that and put that. All right. This is cool. I made these flowers on my paper, but I'm not going to use them. I might use this for like a focal point in something else. So I just keeping all that. All right. So now I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to get my sanding block. And you can use scissors for this, or you can sand it. You want it to dry a little bit. And I'm just pulling down and away from the can. Down and away. And it's giving it a nice, it almost comes perforated, a little ripped. And then I can come over here and take it right off. And if I wanted to, I can get my decoupage and I would fix the ends and seal it all in there, but I don't really have to. That's dry. This one's not. This one I'm going to hit with a dryer. And then we're going to put it together, you guys. To do it and put it together, you need some twine or some ribbon. It's up to you. And hot glue. You can use regular glue. You can use E6000. I wouldn't use a glue stick, but you can use craft glue. I like hot glue, and we all use hot glue because it. Because we all use the hot glue because it's instant. And, you know, once it's there, it's there. And then I tie these together so it stays together. But the bulk of keeping it together to begin with is the hot glue. No, Christy, I have not done smash can projects. Do you do them with little cans, with these regular size cans, or do you do them with big cans? I've only seen them with like the big cans, like commercial cans or cans you could, like restaurant size cans. But no, I have never love hands, stand things up that I use all the time. Yes, me too. Because if you, I could share a picture. I am surrounded now with stuff like this. You can, I've done both. I'm surrounded now with stuff, baskets, cans, glasses I've painted, jars that I've painted, coffee cups, wine glasses. I am surrounded by stuff. And even like this is bought, but I love these upright things. You can see, I mean, it's organized. It looks messy. It's organized, but you can see everything right there. And they all have either paintbrushes or writing instruments or cutting instruments. So I try and stay organized. Okay, so 2 decoupage, 2 napkin, 2 painted, 3 painted actually. All right, I'm going to put this one in the middle. I'm going to mix these up like every other. Is that going to work? Yep. Okay, and I'm just going to start gluing. So I'm going to run a bead of glue down the side of one can, and I'm going to stick it on. I'm going to run a bead of glue on this can, and I'm going to stick it on. Then I should be able to fit 2 and 2. Yes, okay. So run a bead of glue down here and stick it in there. Make sure I do this one on the back because I didn't finish this one, so I want to put it on here on the back. Stick it in there. Let's move this up. Then again, this one. And I'm putting the glue where I was too lazy to take the glue and the label off the can. It's on the inside. You're not going to see it. Who cares? Okay. And then this one. Didn't that come pretty, you guys? Oh, I didn't put a clear coat on this. Let me put a clear coat on this real. Oh, no, then it's going to be wet. I'll clear coat it later. So you want to put a clear sealer coat on the top of this. I'm going to skip that. All right. So I'm going to get my bead of glue. And I'm going to stick it on there. Okay. Now these are all, look, I'm picking up one can. These are all together. Now I'm going to take my twine. And I'm going to glue one end of the twine on here just because I want it to stay first. So I put a piece of glue on there and I'm just stuck my twine on there just so it stays as I wrap it around. I want to be fairly even. I'm pulling it snug and I'm going to wrap it around again. And I'm going to wrap it around again. And will it fit one more time? Yes, it will. I'll wrap it around one more time. Get my scissors. Cut. And glue. Oops. I don't want to burn myself. Okay. So I forgot to look at who is up next. But if you stay right here on the Crafty Bunch page, you will be able to, I need to make one of these for myself. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Easy peasy. You stay right here on the Crafty Bunch page and what do you call it? Hit the refresh. you will find the next presenter. Let me turn you guys around. Let me pick this up. And look how cute that is. Now I can take and put scissors, pens, some of my tools for weeding when I do my, what do you call it? My silhouette. My rulers, little rulers I have in here. And then I put this on a Lazy Susie. And then there we go. This is how cute it is when it's done. You can do it in your colors. And voila. So what do you guys think? Okay. So that is it. 7 cans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cans. And some paint and Mod Podge. And look how pretty that is. And this was the original one. Like I said, it wasn't as pretty, but there we go. This one I was lazy, but I could paint it if I wanted to. Anyway, thanks for joining me, you guys. I would love for you to head over and click the button and join my YouTube page and subscribe. I have tons of videos, either step-by-step acrylic painting tutorials or other like little simple crafty tutorials. Thank you for having me today. Refresh the page in the Crafty Bunch and you will see who's up next. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.